a sense of capital.
Aloha, ladies and gents. Welcome back to a new episode of A Sense of Capital Life Earnings. Your host of today is Julian. As always, very glad to have you in. Let me check quickly if the audio is working. Yeah. Sounds good. So I can put them back to the pocket and 100% set the focus on you and Nubank, of course. Yeah, guys, I already mentioned it. Today we will guide the live earnings, the earnings results of Q4 and full year of 2025 of the Brazil company, financial institution, digital bank, and other service and products provider, New Holding, Nubank. I will not preview that detailedly heavily about the bank because I think nowadays it's quite popular actually, and for those of you who are loyal viewers to the stream, you know anyhow what this bank is about. It's a superpower bank, I can tell, and I'm invested since 3 years actually. That's anniversary today, 3 years live stream Nubank anniversary, very proud. And shareholder as well for, don't know, 3.5, 4 years, no clue, need to check. However, we will quickly in a moment jump into the results, but before, as always, quick disclaimer: upcoming minutes, no financial advice, no consultation, nothing close to that. Make sure you do your own due diligence, your own research process, your own decisions. It's your own money, your own destiny. You need to live with the decision you make, basically, guys. Yeah, and of course, no guarantee for correctness of the provided data. I'm just a human, sometimes entering and copy and paste wrong the information. So yeah, make sure you check it out in the right path. So guys, who is this? I'm not sure who's this actually. Some kind of model, maybe. Yeah, you can hire for this kind of jobs. Maybe it's a beauty queen, popular one in Latin America. I need to be careful. Who knows? But what we see here is actually the website of Nubank. And what is Nubank? I mean, you have the classic banking services. You can see a new pay, even new crypto. That's not actually that classic, but bank accounts, loan services. Then you have a credit card, of course, which is a huge driver for the Latin American market for a lot of the customers of no matter if we talk about Brazil, Mexico, or Colombia, all the 3 countries they are currently active in. For many of their clients, New might be the first access to banking services and products, the first access to a credit card. So definitely a game changer. Of course, you can invest and trade, for instance, stocks through the new platform. So really, for 360-degree, very free package banking service. Yeah, and not that far long ago, they released their results, the Q4 earnings results and 2025 earnings results, and those are the results we will cover today. So you can see, as always, I prepared an Excel sheet, copied already a lot of information to it. Actually, just this column, not everything. That other stuff is from the past quarters. And yeah, now we will go systematically and structured very well through those results. And we start, as always, with top and bottom line growth, yeah? So revenue growth and profit growth. And revenue, what the heck is going on, man? I was laughing. I was laughing when I've seen this. I mean, I wanted to see, as you can see here, roughly 4.2 billion US dollars, yeah, which would already be an amazing beat compared to the 3.8 billion forecast. But why I wanted to see this 4.2 billion in revenue is that will be actually an increase of 50 million US dollars, like the same level what took place 1 year ago from Q3 2024 to Q4 2024. But look what happened. I mean, instead of 50 million more from quarter to quarter 1 year ago, it went up by almost 700 million US dollars. What the fuck, man? They really heat up the oven. It's crazy. the fireplace, however you call this. You can see forecast beat of more than 1 billion, almost 1.1 billion US dollars. Yeah, and we're talking about overall 4.9 billion roughly. Crazy. Yeah, so new is traditionally not providing an outlook guidance in terms of Q1 2026, for instance, but as well not for full year, upcoming full year. However, that is as green as it can be. I'm not sure. I think the last time when I have experienced this kind of positive result, I think it was the case in Hims and Hers when they really reached their GLP-1 weight loss peak situation. Yeah, but crazy strong. And profit, I'm not 100% sure if I calculated it correctly. You can see here I utilized the net income of this quarter, which is 100% on point. But these are the diluted shares of the past year. I mean, the dilution by shares, it's not that strong. It will be roughly the same, and actually it's a miss. I assume it's a miss. Yeah, I will check later out the accurate information in a few minutes. We can check out this together through investing.com or some other website. Yeah, but wait, let me quickly check it with you together, guys. If we can figure it out through investing.com. No, it's not stated here yet. But then let's see if it was already released through Seeking Alpha. And I know, guys, Nvidia is live today. Salesforce, Trade Desk, Snowflake, a lot of companies you're looking and waiting for. However, glad if you joined and glad if you decided for a sense of capital and you decided for a new bank. And I assume it's not the bad choice when I take a look at the results. However, currently I can't figure it out. However, I assume 0.18 US dollar should be correct, and therefore that's for sure a miss, and I need to color it in red, so rate it negatively. However, keep in mind, it's, at least for me, it's a very strong revenue growth story. They can at any moment in time very likely use the lever and increase the level of profitability. So it's on purpose. It's about taking market share and being very competitive in this regard. And so if they miss slightly like this, they missed a lot of times already or just reached the forecast by the analysts. So that's not that dramatic, I think, from my perspective. So I can tell you, even if that's very irregular for me, normally I would blend this somehow. Okay, revenue is more important for me than profit. However, I would blend this and that would be neutral. But so far, it's a positive rating because, honestly, guys, the beat was too strong in terms of the forecast. It was too strong, too crazy. Yeah, too crazy. Okay, now let's go on and dig a little bit deeper into details. Don't worry and don't get concerned about all of this information. It's actually not that much. We'll go quickly through it. We see here the revenue development. I mean, crazy. Look at this. Past quarter year-on-year growth was roughly 42%. Already amazing. When I started to invest in this company, I think it was like 30, 35%, maybe 40%. But on a way smaller and less strong fundament, an absolute number, and 42% last quarter was already crazy and surprising, and now 63% year-on-year growth. What the heck? Crazy. I mean, New actually announced that they are now the largest private financial institution, bank institution in Brazil. Crazy. I mean, New is not existing since 20 years, you know. It's not that legacy business. And still they're grabbing so much market share because they're just doing the stuff very right and hit the right spot at the right time. Yeah, very simple. But let's check out what is going on with the 3 different markets and the customer base. We can already see customers in total, definitely a record. Past quarter year-on-year growth was 16% and now 15%. No need to be concerned and worried about this because It's just very regular that they reach a certain ceiling at a certain point in time. And you can see here, I mean, Brazil as their home market, they have now 113 million customers. Yeah, so 3 more than last quarter, so 3 million more, crazy. Past quarter they grow by 11.3%, this only by 11%, but keep in mind that it's already, you can see it here a little bit more below, it's already 52.5% of the Brazilian population, including children and everything, you know, not just adults. So this coverage ratio is very high. And we can't expect way more, and that they keep this 11% growth, and still you can see it, 3 million, yeah. Look, from Q2 2025 to Q3, 3 million, and now again 3 million. That's historically very, very strong. I think the strongest absolute growth so not, you can see here, for instance, Q1 to Q2, it was roughly almost 4 million. So it was already stronger, but it was already weaker, and I'm almost convinced to put it in a positive rating, but I keep it a neutral, yeah, but a very positive neutral, because 11% at this level is still very strong. And I mean, now it's getting, it's since a few quarters, it's more about really getting the most out of their existing customer base in Brazil. And when you check out the revenues and further numbers we will cover in a moment, you see that they're doing this very well. So what is going on with the rising star Mexico? A lot of potential over there, even though not everything is that easy. And you can see past quarter 46% year-on-year growth, and now 40%. So still very strong in terms of the customer base, 1 million more. But this is a rising market, you know, and I would love to see, when we talk about the population of, you can see it here, almost 130 million people, yeah. So yes, they have 10% of the population, more than 10%, say 11%, but it's 1 million more, 1 million more, 1 million more, always roughly 1 million more, yeah, quarter on quarter. I'm happy that they keep this momentum, but it is not that strong. It's not that strong. I like to see it's increasing, and I put it in red. I rate it negatively, because I still want to see more momentum, more dynamic, more speed and acceleration in Mexico, and I don't see it at the moment. Even though I don't have any doubts that they will stay there and be very successful, and now in 5 years and 10 years. I mean, management stated actually in some interview I've read that Mexico, it will take years that till it's getting profitable. And I mean, why not? They have a good profit driver with Brazil. There's no need to rush and push somehow unreasonably the gas pedal. Yeah. However, what is going on with the newest market of all of this freeze? And this is Colombia. Yeah. Colombia, comparably small market with 52 million citizens, and you can see as well a record customer base. Past quarter 100% growth, and now only 68%. So as well, for me, honestly, not that convincing. Yeah. Great to see it increase, because you can see from Q2 to Q3 2025, nothing happened. It stayed at roughly 4 million, and now 200,000 more. So it seems like they restarting promotion, restart to recruit more customers. I think they do this on purpose. However, 200,000 quarter on quarter is still not that convincing. You can see, for instance, 1 year ago, Q3 to Q4, it was 500,000 more. Yeah, I want to see different. That's the reason why I rate it negative. Yeah, and I think from my perspective, customer base is very important. And yes, the total number is great, but it's more or less primarily because of the Brazilian home market, which is still developing better than I personally expected. On the other hand, the rising stars, Mexico and Colombia, are developing worse than I expected, and that is what I don't like to see. I always want to see that the future is going well and rapidly moving into the right direction. That's not the case for me, so customer base overall not that great. However, let's see what is going on with the activity rate. So how many of those customers are active? I mean, you can have 3 billion customers, but if only a small percentage of it is active, it doesn't bring that much revenue in it in business. Yeah. So we can see it sticks on 83%. 83% is comparably to other banks a very solid, very high number. And we don't need to see here any improvement. I think anything above 80% is already huge. However, I keep it neutral. I mean, it would be always great that they push it somehow more to the north, but then I would rate it positively and mark it green, but that's not the case. Let's see what is going on with the ARPAC, so average revenue per active customer, and that is a hell driver. I mean, when you just compare the legacy banking institutions in Brazil, the existing ones with stores and shops and branches and whatsoever, they have, I think, ARPAC of something like $25-30, if I'm not mistaken and remember it not correctly. Yeah, but and so there's a lot of room for improvement how they can utilize their customer base. Maybe the average customer is not that financially stable like the average customer of the legacy banks in Brazil, for instance. But see what is going on here. I mean, past quarter already 18% year-on-year growth, amazing, and now 40%. And I mean, here you can really see the connection between those numbers. Yeah, I mean, total revenue 63% growth, and ARPAC is growing heavily. So really, they offer way more products, way more services than half or 1 year ago to the customers. Customers getting more and more active in terms of utilizing those products. So upselling and cross-selling is definitely taking place, and you can really see. I mean, you think, oh, maybe $15, but again, legacy businesses are already on the way another level, and you can see they kept it more or less quite stable till a certain point of time, and then already last quarter, yeah, you can see $12, 20 US dollar cents to $13 already good raise. But now, bam, $2 US more. Yeah, and I think that's just the beginning, and it's already crazy strong. It's simple math. It's really simple math what is behind this company at the moment. We talk about the legacy market, Brazil, their home market, and from my perspective, my opinion, there's not too much to worry about when we're talking about this core business. Really not. It's very stable. However, so we have the activity rate about the customers, the revenue per active customer, and now we check out what is going on with the cost to serve for those customers. And here we have 80 US dollar cents. It's not all-time low. It was already low with 70 US dollar cents in Q1 2025, but you can see at least it's not increasing. So past quarter it went up by 13%, and now it doesn't went up at all. It's very low with 80 US dollar cents. I mean, it's that low, a bit like with activity rate. There's not that much room for improvement. Everything below $1 US is the target of new, and look, they go down again. Yeah, so it's looking very good, very healthy, and again, compare just those numbers. Yeah, compare it. I mean, there's difference between of 14.2 US dollars. Yeah, between the revenue and the cost to serve per customer. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's not all costs. It's just the cost to serve, the directly addressable costs, but still impressive, very impressive business case. And now we check out what is going on with the risk management, the non-performing loans. First, non-performing loans which not performing for between 15 and 19 days, so a delay of 15 till 19 days, and then which is a bit more important, and then we have the 90 days plus NPL, so basically the loans which have been granted by new and you basically have to write off, which are more unlikely that you get them back. And you want to see that those numbers, the percentages are of course very low. And they are low. It's the lowest by far, actually. Yes, past quarter it went down, and now it's just on the same level. It's not the lowest. It is the lowest, but it was already that low 1 year ago. However, it is comparatively low. Compare it as well to other banks. I think as well, Mercado Libre, for instance, Melli. I think it's higher. It's way more risk orientated, and that is strong. Actually, again, almost green rating, same like this stuff here, positive. But let's see, when they make an all-time high or all-time low happen, then I will grant it a positive rating, but due to the fact that it was already on this level, I keep it neutral. However, it's, from my perspective, very good. Now let's check out what is going on with the 90 days plus non-performing loans. And it went down past quarter by 0.4 and again 0.4, and you can see, it was already lower with 6.3, but it's one of the lowest with 6.6, and again it's getting down, lower than 1 year ago with 7%, and so therefore as well a very solid neutral rating, I would say. So really all of this looks good, but now we check out what is going on with a very banking specific number, and that's the risk adjusted net interest margin. So basically the interest income from loans they grant minus the interest expenses from deposits. So when customers of them putting their money on bank accounts and getting interest rates and interest money out of it. So that is basically what's getting measured by this. And let's see what is going on here. How efficient this loan business is, let's say it like this. And you can see past quarter it already went up, but very slightly, almost 0% with 0.2. And now it's accelerating to 0.6%. So quite strong, not an all-time high, but it's working into the right direction. Who knows, maybe next year, next quarter we will reach this peak performance of past quarter. However, it's still good, it's better than 1 year ago, and that's fine for me to leave a neutral rating. That's absolutely reasonable from my perspective. Now we check out what is the yearly or the annualized return on equity. As well, a very bank specific number, and there we can see how as well efficient they work with the equity they have. And you can see past quarter 1% up and now 4% up. So here that is definitely an indicator they're getting more efficient. 33% is an all-time high, was never that high as you can see here. So that's definitely strong, and that's definitely something which deserves a positive rating, no doubt about it. And now our standard metric, not banking specific metric, but of course we want to see how profitable at the end, what is really the bottom line of all of this, let's say like this, all those numbers. And therefore we check out the net income margin. And past quarter it went down by 0.1%, and now it went down again by 0.1%. So yes, it was already lower. It is quite high, but it was already higher with 18.8%, with 18.5% as you can see here. So that is actually I rated negative. I need to be strict here, not convincing, but it's okay. Look, I mean the banking specific numbers looking good as well historically, and that's okay. And now let's see what is going on with the shareholder orientation, how much they're taking care and considering us as, and try to avoid, for instance, shareholder dilution, stock dilution through stock-based compensation, and you can see here stock-based compensation share of revenue, and it's actually historically low. I mean, why? Yeah, I mean, it's very profitable business, obviously. I mean, it's very regular that management, for instance, or staff getting paid through share-based compensation, but it's nice to see it's getting lower. Past quarter already minus 7.8%, now again 0.7%, and it is very, very low, and it's by far an all-time low again. So this one I rated therefore green. Yeah, and I mean, it's not that complicated. Maybe let me check one more time, guys, before I give a final verdict. But I quickly want to check out if we have the earnings per share number, just to confirm it. Don't think so. Oh, very slow, very slow. Yeah. No, it's not uploaded yet, but I assume 0.18 US dollar per share is correct. However, so time for the final verdict. And again, I already mentioned that regularly a blend out of green and red is yellow in my life, in my world. But in this case, again, it's a revenue growth company for me. That's the reason why I'm invested. And yes, small miss on the earnings per share side, but again, they never created a huge beat just simply because they are not aiming for this at the moment, I think. And still you can see it's an all-time high with 0.18 US dollar cents. It's an all-time high for sure. So it's developing the right direction. When you compare it to 1 year ago, no positive development at all, Q3 to Q4. Now we have 2 US dollar cents more, that's great. However, the music is really playing here on the revenue side, on the top line growth, and compared to the forecast, again, almost the 1.1 billion US dollar beat. There's nothing to discuss here, nothing to discuss. So that's for sure, even though a bit red, strong green. And then we have some details. And keep in mind, this yellow stuff is more or less most of the time actually quite positive in green because it's already on a very, very good level. Yeah. Only net income margin is a bit low. However, everything else, yes, very, very solid to still strong. Something in between solid and strong, but nothing to worry about. The aspect which is most concerning for me is again that yes, Brazil as the home market is still growing quite strongly, considering the stage in which Nu is currently located in. But the customer growth and the rising markets and the new markets, Mexico and Colombia, is not that satisfying, and that is quite heavily negative for me, honestly. Yeah, I mean, I'm not that heavily worried about, but I really think about myself. Okay, why are they not accelerated? I mean, they have the playbook, they have the financial power, they have everything very likely, staff members, all of this. Why are they not accelerating it quicker? And I don't have an answer for it. I assume they do it on purpose, but maybe there's some strong competition going on or whatsoever. Yeah, and that's most negative for me, not the earnings per share, the profit side here. More negative is for sure for me the customer development. So what I would leave here is, revenue growth is so strong, it's difficult. Yeah, but I leave a neutral rating. Neutral rating is okay. It's not that challenging to do this. I mean, it's obviously never really 100% clear. Again, neutral rating in my investment world means that I'm happy with the company I'm invested in, and I'm only invested in 4 companies, and I'm highly convinced of all those 4 companies. And if it's neutral, it is the message for me that it is how I expected it will be, and that is already very positive, basically, because it confirms my investment case. So neutral is very solid, and again, keep in mind the revenue development of this quarter was amazing. There is just this downside, this shadow throwing aspects of the customer base in Mexico and Colombia. It's not that heavily negative, but I just expected more, yeah. And if that would be a little bit more positive, I would take a different rating. But this is how it is. Okay, guys, we already checked out that there is not that much market reaction going on in terms of that there is some results released on Seeking Alpha, as far as I can see it at least. And some market participants are reacting. That's not the case. But you can see the aftermarket price, and it's down by 2.2%. Somehow expected it, somehow not. I mean, why I expected it is because the market... Oh, my camera. The market is just very strongly under pressure. Strong, or is it 18? What is the right number? After hours 0%. Yeah, I mean, not that much movement. I'm not sure what are the numbers of Nvidia. I'm not sure what are the numbers of Salesforce, Snowflake, of the others. But what we know is that in the past weeks it was exactly the same. That even the results have been solid. Companies have been under pressure. I don't think that's because of the results of Nu. Let's see what the management around David Velez, the CEO, will communicate during the live earnings call, which is currently the case. But I'm very personally good convinced. Again, neutral rating, but personally convinced by these results. And I think this can turn easily. I mean, depending on the outcome of tomorrow's market, if Salesforce, Nvidia, and all of those companies, especially the software ones, missed somehow and didn't create enough conviction, I assume it might be tomorrow a red day, a negative day, a bloody day, and that might affect as well Nu. But on the other hand, there's definitely some catch-up potential, and if markets are neutral, I assume Nu will go up tomorrow. Yeah, that's my prediction. However, let's go quickly through the slide deck. Where is it? Presentation slide, you can see it here. Not covering too much details, but I already checked some of them. Yeah, you can see here customers, RPAC. You can see it all. Look at this smooth upgoing ladders, all the steps, the stairs here. That is how we want to see it. That's lovely, lovely, lovely. And now it's getting interesting, yeah. I'm more about the numbers at Nu, but this time I had 5 more minutes, so I had a bit time at least to screen the presentation slide deck. And what I love about is really this new priorities. I mean, there was always these rumors that they might expand to new markets like Argentina, for instance, but more like Latin American markets, yeah. And now that they make the move to the US, as you can see here, I mean, they're going for this bank charter. I think in maximum 18 months it should be ready, and they, as far as I understand, can start doing business there with, if everything goes well, at least with full banking license and everything. That would be amazing. And yeah, I mean, background of this is because of the huge Hispanic community in the US. Have relatives, for instance, in Brazil, and so they can very easy use their accounts to send money, and yeah, just using the benefits which are resulting out of this this synchronized banking situation, yeah. But you can see it's not just like Brazil, Mexico, and Colombia and sustained growth, yeah, all good. But now here they're stating, oh wait, that's Mexico, guys. That's Mexico. That's the US. Sorry, guys. Sorry. But strengthened foundations for international expansion. So start, and it's just scale, model, globally, scale our model globally. Yeah, so it's working, and they reach out to further markets. And I mean, look, they're starting with the US. Let's see what they will do. I mean, starting, that's not by accident. Yeah, I never read something like this from new in this regard, and it seems like really there might be a catch to go to even Southeast Asia, maybe to Africa. Who knows? Africa might be a strong future market. Who knows? Arabia, I have no clue. But there's definitely some regions left which are underbanked or unbanked for a lot of citizens over there, and much potential left. And we can see here, yes, AI power embedded, of course. Yeah, we have here strong execution at scale throughout 2025. So a lot of keywords like the new coin, whatever it is, or new physical SIMs, or like SIM cards which you can use in your smartphone. They have as well insurance, actually. Yeah, iFood partnership, I have no clue. Shopee partnership, so that's C Limited, for instance. Yeah, so yeah, a lot of different aspects. I'm not too detailed about Amazon partnership, yeah, but a lot of drivers for it, and that is what I just want to make clear. And that is just one business year. Yeah, it's crazy. And here you see their priorities, so their targets for 2025 and what they have accomplished and achieved and what not. And you can see they are very strict with themselves, so the ecosystem adoption didn't work out so far as expected, or it's not finalized yet. US expansion is not finalized yet. Okay, that was not a target for 2025, but it's on the way. But you can see a lot of aspects. They are on a very good path. It's working very well. They are actually happy with Mexico and Colombia. Again, I'm personally not, but it looks good. It looks solid, yeah. And I mean, again, yes, all of this getting reflected finally in the results, and you can see it as well: credit income, float income, fee income. But it's, and the costs on a whole nother level, gross profit level. I'm not sure what is the cross margin. Let's check it out quickly. Gross profit. Shit. Let's see if we can find it quickly. Or I have to calculate it. Or I just leave it. Or I just leave it out. Shit, is it like... I'm too lazy to calculate it. Maybe you have seen it somewhere, but it's not stated. However, yeah, so existing stuff is good. Now that, from my perspective, doing the right move, using this momentum and going to new markets. Let's see what is going on in the US. Let's see what is going on in other new markets. I never expected that they will soon be active outside of the North, Mid, or South America. I mean, North America, US was always a rumor. Again, other Latin American countries was always a rumor. But the potential that they go to another continent, that's definitely a solid one. Maybe even in Latin America, there's for sure some meat, some potential left. Yeah. Those are all the numbers we already covered. I mean, let's check one more time out what is going on with the aftermarket price, 1.8% minus. Again, not very surprising, and it's actually quite regular. When you are an investor of new, you know that a lot of times aftermarket or next day market, the price is down. Yeah, not heavily, but price down is very regular. But you can see here revenue surprise 29.29%. Crazy. That's strong, no doubt. Let's see if there are some results here on Seeking Alpha. Here are some first market reactions of users. Wait. Revenue, just some information to revenue. Okay, what are the people writing? Another big quarter, great numbers, but no guidance. Anyone can see guidance? Yeah, as far as I know, they never release a guidance, so that's not a problem. What we have here is Let's see, after the results announced but fell. Okay, fourth quarter. Strong monetization drove quarterly revenues. All-time high net income. Yeah, das. While building the capacity evolve into global digital banking platform. Wow, that is crazy. That they focus it with these words is quite new to me. That is, and I mean really, David Veles seems so capable. Her co-founder or his co-founder seems so capable. You can see as well the rating here on Seeking Alpha, a platform, an analyst platform. I can strongly recommend. It's very positive that you don't see a lot of times nowadays at a lot of companies. The price itself, I mean, look what is going on with the price. It's quite stable, even in the nowadays times. You can see it's almost all-time high, and that is not without any reason, yeah. But let's check out what is going on with the reactions here. I welcome this opportunity to add to my holdings at tomorrow's opening bell. Yeah, and that's what I understand. I mean, I personally purchased just 200 more shares, I think, roughly 200 more, 1 or 2 days ago. Yeah, so it was, yeah, I invested heavily in other companies I'm invested now, and it's already a 40,000 euro stock, so more than 45,000 US dollar position, and not that easy to add more shares at this price if other stocks I'm invested in are suffering simultaneously. But I think it's cheap. I think the company is cheap. Yeah, it's a very large revenue beat. Wouldn't be surprised to watch shares go on sale like Melly yesterday. Yeah, I mean Melly dropped heavily today with -8%. I think it was actually even more, like 10% or something like this down. So it recovered a bit. But yes, I mean, again, it's down after hours, but that is not... I assume if the market somehow tomorrow is neutral or positive, it will go up for sure. Again, I think, because the outlook's too crazy. What they're doing, the execution level is too crazy. It's too confident. It's too solid, too reliable. It's just it seems like a playbook, like a movie, and you know what will be the end of it, and there's kind of a happy end. Yeah, and especially when they now announce that they start with the US and go further, that is crazy. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe in 5, maybe in 10 years, maybe the largest bank outside of Asia, and that would be impressive. Yeah, and that would not surprise me actually, that heavily. Okay, guys, let's just take quickly a look on the future live streams I will guys one more time. So let's check out the outlook, check out what will be the upcoming live streams and the companies I will cover. And actually there's not that much left. Yeah, so I already covered Grab, I already covered Nu, I already covered Reddit, and all of them have been quite solid from my perspective. Hims and Hers I missed on Monday. I prepared it actually, but then I've decided to not do it because I didn't feel that well. But the last one is my rising star, SentinelOne, cybersecurity provider, endpoint protection, but as well AI protection, data, and identity and other products, cybersecurity products out of the US. Smaller one with roughly $1 billion US dollar revenue, annual revenue. This is what I will cover on 12th of March, so roughly in 2.5-3 weeks. Definitely recommend you to join the stream because very interesting. Might be kind of a turnaround. I'm as well more or less on the same level invested into SentinelOne like on Nu, so that counts for all my companies, but for Hims and Hers, where I'm not invested anymore since beginning of February, and so far I'm quite happy with the decision, even if yesterday earnings results wasn't that bad from my perspective. However, it's a risky move to be invested, I think. Yeah, but I can recommend you to join this one, and if not, I mean, we see each other latest at the next new live earnings stream in roughly 3 months. Yeah. So guys, thank you very much for joining. If you like what you have seen, feel free to like the stream, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can follow me as well on Instagram, same name as here, A Sense of Capital. And guys, as always, my famous last words, most important and way more important than money and investing in stocks, even if it's a lot of fun and can bring money into it and some security for your life. More important is that you're happy, you're healthy mentally as well as physically, and the same counts for your beloved ones. So take care of you and the ones next to you. And yeah, wish you all the best for your investments, no matter if it's new or other companies. And see you next time. Cheers and bye.
A sense of capital.